Investing in Health, Part 7, Dr. Dilip Gadgil, Pune, Ahara Vidhi Visheshayatana, Karana or Sanskar. We were just saying that the original property of the food material has to be understood properly, and then we also have to think of the processes that are being done. Say for example, washing rice or dal, something like that, is a kind of process. Then putting water into that and cooking it open vessel in a pressure cooker, etc. is another process or something like. From the cooked dal, if we prepare soup or dal from that, that is another process. So like that, there are so many processes involved, and they bring out a change in the property, original property of the food material. So we need to consider this and then decide whether to consume a particular food material, in what quantity, in what way, etc. etc. Curds or yogurt is a good example. According to Ayurveda, it is abhishandi, it creates blockades in the channels of the body, and so it creates swelling in the body. On the contrary, if we just churn it and get buttermilk, then buttermilk reduces swelling. There is a good example from our Guru Vaidya Koladkar sir, that the parents had gone somewhere out and for a few days, and there were children, teenagers in the house, and there was lot of milk, so they didn't understand what to do with that milk. So they converted into curds and ate curds for 2-3 days. As a result, they developed swelling on the feet. They were frightened and they came to Koladkar sir. Koladkar sir asked, what did you do new in these days? They said there was a lot of milk and we converted into curds and then ate curds. Koladkar sir said, okay, now do one thing, prepare curd but then churn it and convert it into a buttermilk and consume buttermilk for 2-3 days and then come back to me. And it worked. The swelling that had been developed due to curds was totally removed by the buttermilk. So this manthana, as what we call churning movement, creates fire actually. In old days, whenever we used to do sacrifices on large scale, there were two wooden things, and a churning process was done in those wooden things, and that creates fire, and then that fire was used for this sacrifice. So in the same manner, this churning of the curds leads to such kind of fire, and as a result the buttermilk is having totally opposite properties to curds. Now we used to do this with our hands, maybe with a use of a sting, but nowadays there is technology that has been developed, and so we have blenders, and so one can easily use a blender and convert curds into buttermilk. But the only thing is, when we do it by hands, it's bidirectional, from left to right, right to left, like that, and the speed is low because it is in tune with the speed of a human being. On the other hand, when we use blender, then it is unidirectional, and secondly, the speed doesn't match with the speed of the human being. It is too fast accordingly. So one has to consider these factors while considering the processes, and then which process to be done, in what way to be done, how long it has to be done, and then what will be the changes in the properties of the original food material, that has also to be seen. And then we can consider whether it is to be consumed, not consumed, how to consume, etc. etc. So there are varieties of processes like this, and generally the fire cooking helps reducing the gurutva or the heaviness of the food material, makes it more light to digest, that it's not so every time. So we'll discuss about varieties of examples of this and then continue with this. Namaste.